Good afternoon from the Disney Springs bus board. You guys know that there's a lot of construction going on at Caribbean Beach and Coronado Springs. So let's head on over and do an update on what's going on over there. Maybe some of you guys are staying there and you guys need to know if there's going to be construction everywhere or when it's going to open or how far along it is. Let's go have a look. Here we go over at Coronado Springs. I'm going to head out into the parking lot to get a better view of the new tower, the Gran Destino. Holy cow, this thing is so massive. Look at that. Like compared to the rest of the resort, it is huge. And they've started adding in this porte cochere and it just makes the building look bigger. Look at how tall it is. When we first saw this from the road like a few weeks ago, we thought it was not attached to the building, but from this angle you can see that it is. And they have all these other little wavy parts and wavy bits out in front. It's pretty interesting looking for sure. So wait, you enter in on the second level, so I feel like this is gonna be like a ramp up to this. Definitely interested to see that part of it progress. Yeah, you can see like there's a little golf cart driving on top of some dirt. Look at how high up it is. I almost said look at how tall up it is. Look at how high up it is. So yeah, you can see you're definitely gonna like ramp up and drive in there based on where that golf cart is. Ooh, right here you can see how they've started making the attachment point between the two buildings, making them one complete building. The last time we were in this main lobby of Coronado Springs, somebody pointed out there is a hidden Mickey in the lights up here. That's a really good hidden Mickey. But I want to try to show you guys the progress that they've made on the little walkway between the two buildings. You can see they're almost ready to punch through into the old lobby. It's kind of interesting that there are little sections that they haven't finished with stucco yet, but they've painted the whole outside of the building. And there are other sections that it sort of looks like they are fixing. I don't really understand what's going on there. But look at that. There's all of the different detail ribbon work on the outside of the building. They're pretty darn far along, but as you can tell, they still are very much under construction right now. Ah, the sights and sounds of a construction site. Little generators running, chop saws going, people hammering. Also, what are we doing here? Are we building like a seawall over here? All those rebar pieces sticking up definitely mean concrete, but I wonder what. Ooh. Also, look at this big pile of styrofoam. Over here looking in the direction of the Three Bridges Bar and Grill, something that's interesting out here in the water that I don't know what it is, but what is that? Should also be noted that today is Saturday and they are over here working on this building. I wonder if that's just normal, like they normally work on Saturday, or they're trying to get it done. So they're working on Saturdays, like almost like overtime. A little bit different view of that thing that I couldn't quite figure out what it is. Does anybody know what that is? It's got two steel cables running back towards shore from it. Almost like that's keeping it in place. Or maybe something like it's anchored and somebody could use those steel cables to go out to this thing. Here's a far back view of the new tower, the Gran Destino at Coronado Springs. I'd be interested to see the inside of it. I'm sure it's not nearly as far along as the outside, but be interested to see it. Oh, if we look in the windows, sort of up there at the top restaurant area, there's some stuff inside. Maybe we'll get a better view of what's going on inside of there. What do you guys think? Does anything up there look familiar to you guys? Definitely not tables. There's something going on up there though. Hey buddy, you getting those nuts that you buried in the winter time or before the winter? It's okay. Oh, bye. This bar and grill and meeting space island out here looks like it's very far along. So I am very confident that this will open up way before the tower opens up. Last time we were here, we found out the name of that island. Just can't remember what it is right now. The good news is it's on the other side on a big sign, so we'll be able to see it once we make it around to the other side. Yeah, it almost seems like they just have finishing touches and woodwork to do. Like back here you can see they're still adding in some trellises on the back. It sounds like they're just doing woodwork. The good news is as soon as I've made it to the other side of the pool, I can no longer hear the construction over at the Gran Destino Tower, but I can hear a little tiny bit of construction going on here at Three Bridges. As always, the ranchos are where it's at. Super peaceful and quiet back here. Listen to the birds chirping. It's nice. Even though there is a lot of construction going on behind me, over here, quiet. I feel like from back here by the ranchos, it really is hard to tell that there's a lot of construction going on. Unless you like look in this direction, because there's a lot going on over here. But I think that these are just up, so they would store like their construction equipment back here at night, and just open these up in the very first thing in the morning to get them over to this area. And then this is all fenced off just so they have a walkway to get over to the construction area here from where all their construction stuff is, construction equipment. Also, it definitely still is very nice back here with the fountain and everything. Is very picturesque. But as we turn, oh, and it smells good back here because of these gardenias. But as we turn, still a terrible view. Ah, there it is. That's what it's called. Via del Lago. Huh, this is what really makes me believe that it's almost ready to open. Do you guys see the little artwork on the outside of the building? And this wind art here, kind of right next to that light post right there, is a thing that when the wind blows, it's art. It's a piece of art. It spins and it looks really neat. And they have these other little things in frames on the wall there underneath where it says Via del Lago. Also, they put the sign up. So why would they put the sign up if it wasn't close to being ready? Oh, they started adding in the little gold domes that are on either side. But you know that it's almost done when can't really tell the difference between visits. I just talked to some folks that are staying over here by this pool in the Casitas area. There's a pool kind of right in that area right there, which is almost directly across from the construction on the new tower, and they said you can't hear any construction back there. So it seems like no matter where you're staying, you can't really hear construction unless you're outside. I don't think you can hear it in your room. So it's kind of gotten to the point where I would say, don't worry about it. Take whatever you can get here. I feel like the ones that are kind of like right next to the construction over here might be a little bit loud. I didn't talk to anybody back there, but all these over here, it's quiet enough outside that you won't be able to hear it inside for sure. Ooh, have you guys ever seen a banana flower? That right there, that's a banana flower. And you can start to see the little bananas forming. Those are gonna be bananas. Nature. I think probably the most interesting thing as far as noise level goes is I can hear the pool music just as clearly as I can hear them working on the 3 bridges over here. But I did find out that they're accepting reservations for rooms in the Gran Destino July 9th, starting July 9th. So got just a couple of months, about 4 months to go before this opens. But the 3 Bridges Bar and Grill, but it looks like it'll be open way before that. Other things that lead me to believe that is there are lights all along the walkway already, and the lights are turned on. Also, they've already installed the speakers, and the speakers are already playing music. So yeah, here's a closer look at the lights being on. These lights are on. Yeah, this is riveting, right? Just passing by Cafe Rick's, which is like right here when you first enter the building, and I didn't realize how delicious some of their different pastries and desserts look. Holy cow, look at these cookies. Also, this strawberry cake is amazing looking. Ooh, yes. What is that? It doesn't have a sign on it, but it looks so good. Oh. Now it's time to hop an Uber over to Caribbean Beach, check on the construction over there. Here we are at Caribbean Beach. Let's have a look around. Ooh, they're out there fishing. Also, the first spot that we're gonna take a look at is over here at the Riviera Resort. There it is. It's actually really interesting because it's quiet. We were just over at Coronado and it was loud. They were working on it. But over here at Riviera, they're not working on it. Coronado, the Gran Destino, is supposed to open July 9th. The Riviera is taking reservations for December. Also, we found out a little bit more information about the restaurant at the top of the Riviera. It's gonna be called Topolino's, and Topolino is actually what they call Mickey Mouse in Italy. It means baby mouse. Everything else that we heard, we basically already knew. It's gonna be an Italian-themed restaurant, signature dining, views of a couple of parks, mainly Epcot and Hollywood Studios, fireworks, and there will be character dining in the morning for breakfast. I'll tell you guys what, this is a gigantic resort. And if Disney keeps building huge resorts like this, we need another park. Like, the parks are just gonna get fuller and fuller. If we're filling all these hotels, the people need somewhere to go. So we need to build another park for sure. Also, last time I was here, I did find out that these are gonna be the studios over here. Basically like little mini apartments. And then there's gonna be 2 pools. There's one here, and then there's another one over here. One of them being the quiet pool and one of them being the family pool. Gonna be a nice resort. As you guys know, it's called the Riviera. So it's going to be based around the Riviera in Italy. I wish I understood the way that commercial building like timelines work, because it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they're not done with the outside of the building, but they've already planted trees and bushes over here. It seems strange to do landscaping while you're still doing a lot of construction to the outside of the building. Here's one of the telltale signs that this will 100% be a pool, is if you see the thing that is right in the center of the frame there, that right there, that is a filter tank for a pool. I think I remember them saying that one of these two pools is going to be an infinity pool, so that when you're in it, it looks like you're just looking out over the water, like the pool is part of the water, like an infinity pool. I don't know how to explain an infinity pool. It looks like the horizon is part of the pool. All right, let's head over and see if we can get a closer look at this Skyliner Station for the Riviera. Passing by Sebastian's Bistro. First day of spring break. I thought maybe they would open it up to try to take some of the crowds, but I guess not. I guess it's just not open for lunch anymore. Only open for dinner. Yeah, look, see, it just says dinner menu. I'm on the island that is in the middle of Caribbean Beach. And look, there it is. There's the Riviera. Massive. This is absolutely massive. Oh, I got to this side of the resort and this is a big oof. I don't know what they're doing over here, but it looks like a lot. That's for sure. What is this? And why does it look so terrible? Wow. What the heck is going on over here? This looks horrible. Well, they're doing something with electric, I guess? Still, Skyliner Towers. Not hidden or painted or themed in any way. Maybe they will be eventually, but what is going on? There's a hole right here. I know because the board says hole. Gotta be careful. What is all this? I honestly would hate if this was my room right here and this was right outside of my room. That would not be fun. What are they doing over here? This is like gravel of some kind? Do we need new drainage? Is this a drainage area? What is going on? It's just heavy equipment hanging out here. The Disney difference. I'll be honest. Having that much of the footer exposed does not seem like a good idea to me. That seems like a good hard rain can cause some underwelling of that and just a little bit of cracking going on in here. Not gonna make anything fall down or anything like that, but it's definitely a maintenance nightmare. Ah, there's a shoe back there. Wonder if that has something to do with the construction that's going on. I think they're adding in the electric and stuff like that for these lights. Because this one looks brand new. Those down there don't look as new. We'll get down to those. I feel like this is artwork that I haven't seen for the Skyliner yet. I didn't know that we had Star-Lord and Gamora. I figured that we would have Donald and Daisy, but I didn't know that we had C-3PO and R2-D2, and I knew that we had the Toy Story characters. I like how these people are like waving inside of the Skyliner cabin. Okay, so they're like, by the fact that this sign is here is telling me that this is all in preparation for the Skyliner. So something to do with the Skyliner is happening here. I don't know what, or I can't even begin to postulate what. Yeah, you can really tell. So these lampposts over here are brand new, as opposed to these over here are actually a totally different color and old. Came over to building 52, unit number 55, 5255, because I thought that this view was so funny. Come out here first thing in the morning. Looking out on the lake. It's beautiful. The Riviera, wonderful. These things are so big. So over here looking at the Riviera, and if we turn to our left, the Skyliner Station will start to come in view, and you can tell that it is nowhere near ready to open up yet. I don't even think it's ready for them to start putting gondolas on the line over here. More than likely, from seeing the progress of the different stations, I think it's going to open up going to Hollywood Studios from here first. Sorry, when I said here, I meant Caribbean Beach, and we're going to head over to the station that I'm talking about right now. I never really realized how close we were to Disney Springs until I just, right now, just saw characters in flight coming up over the horizon over there. Came over to a new spot to have a look at the Skyliner transfer station. I just followed the Skyliner line from Riviera over to here, and that got me to this transfer station. And if you look back behind it here, all of the different gondola cabins are all lined up. This is where they will store them and where they can put them on the line to be used. So right now, there are only probably like 30 on the line that runs between here and Hollywood Studios, but there are so many more that they have in storage right here, still covered with their little tarps. So right now, this line that runs over to Riviera only has one gondola on it, and it's right there inside of the station. The other thing that's interesting is I just said that they were all on the line to Hollywood Studios. I was wrong. They must have taken them off and they're not doing testing today, because that right there is the line to Hollywood Studios. and there's nothing on it. It is pretty interesting to be over here just to get a different perspective on this Skyliner station. And I'm just in the parking lot back behind one of the buildings here at Caribbean Beach, just trying to get a little bit closer look at what's going on here with all these different Skyliner cabins and their storage situation. So admittedly, there may be construction going on here, but I feel like the helicopters flying over are definitely causing more of a ruckus than any construction. Today is Saturday though, so I don't know if that makes a difference coming here on a weekday versus a weekend. And I was gonna say how I feel like the Riviera is ruining the sight lines here, but I don't think it is. Once it's done, it'll look pretty nice off in the distance there. So if I have my bearings correct, this is the transfer station. This is shaped like a T, and in that direction, straight out the back, is Hollywood Studios. So when they were running the test, when we saw them running the gondolas at full speed between here and Hollywood Studios, this is where they originated from, and in that direction is Art of Animation and Pop. So if you got on at Pop's entry, you would come over here, and then you would get off here and get on a different one to go to Hollywood Studios, or get off and get on a different one to go over to Riviera and then continue on to Epcot, which I don't think you'll have to get off to switch to a new line to go to Epcot. I think it just like continues through Riviera and maybe stops for a second if you need to get off or people to get on at Riviera. So I'm pretty interested to see how getting on at Riviera is going to work, because the majority of the people, I don't think you can get on here. I don't think I could just walk. Yeah, I can, right? I could just walk from Caribbean Beach across the street over here to this Skyliner station and go to Hollywood Studios or to Epcot, or even to Art of Animation or Pop's Entry over there. But I have a feeling the majority of people that are getting on will be coming from Pop's Entry and then transferring over to Epcot, so there won't be as many gondolas available at Riviera to get to Epcot, right? Tell you, we have fun going to the theme parks. Like, I will never not have fun going to the theme parks, but these are some of my favorite types of videos to do, is to just kind of come out here to the resorts that are being built and just kind of investigate, see what's going on, have a look, see how far along they are, like what they're doing. Oh, I love it. I'm interested in that sort of stuff. No high fives? All right. Before we get to the pool, just wanted to point out, this is where that temporary bar used to be. This is, actually it's kind of confusing. This is where the truck used to be that would sell the merchandise. And then the temporary bar, I think, was just over here. It feels like such a small space compared to what it was. This is so confusing. And then also there was the temporary food area here too, that is now gone and it's become a parking lot. So there you have it. That was our trip to Disney's Coronado Springs Resort to have a look at all the construction going on there with the new Gran Destino Tower and the Three Bridges Bar and Grill. And then over to Caribbean Beach Resort to have a look at the Skyliner construction and to look at the Riviera too. And I really believe that we are running out of theme park space to go to. We need more theme parks to keep up with the amount of hotels that we've got. So with that being said, we are off. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, Spella, now it's time to pee break.